my audible and visible? Just say a hi. And there's a bit of a issue with the internet. It will be alright in some time. If anyone can see, then just say a hi. So I was reading this book in the last two streams, Homework by Rupi Kaur. Yeah, I went through the three chapters of this book, that is mind, heart, and rest. So for today is the last chapter, that is Awake by Rupi God. In the start of this book, the author said just one line: "After feeling disconnected for so long, my mind and body are finally coming back to each other." Home body. So the fourth part of Rupi Kaur's home body is awake. I'm waking up from the longest night of my life. It's been years since I've seen the sun awakening. You can't quite a woman who was born muzzled. I feel from the mouth of my mother's legs into the palms of this world, with God myself ragging in me. Birth. I paid in blood to be here. I paid with a childhood littered with bigger monsters than you. I have been beaten in a silence more times than I've been embraced on this earth. You haven't seen what I have seen. My rock bottom went so deep, I'm pretty sure it was hell. I spent a decade climbing out of it. My hands blistered, my feet swelled, and my mind said, I can't take it anymore. I told my mind, you better get yourself together. We came here for joy and we are going to feel it, all of it. I've been hunted, killed, walked back to earth. I snapped the neck of every beast that thought it could. And you want to take my seat, the one I built with the sort of my life, honey? You won't fit. I juggle clowns like you. I pick my teeth with fools like you are for fun. I have played and slept and danced with bigger devils. On days you can't hear yourself. Slow down too. Let your mind and body catch up to each other. Stillness. What a relief to discover that the aches I thought were mine alone are also felt by so many others. My body renews itself in waves of ocean and blood. I have a very complicated relationship with the country I was born in. Our men were slaughtered in those streets. Our women were raped while those were tortured and disappeared by police. The Indian state denies what they did. But no amount of yoga or Bollywood can make us forget that sick genocide they orchestrated. Never forget 1984. I'll never be quiet about the way my people resisted so I could be free. Our wounds are the reason I started writing poetry. Every word I've ever written was to lead us back into our arms. They could take away everything we have, And we would conjure this beautiful life up all over again, with the bones in our backs, building an empire from the ground up is exactly what we are good at. Ours must be a politic revolution. Freedom can't exist until the most disadvantaged are free. Don't sleep on the doormat of your potential, waiting for things to happen when you could be the thing that happens. You are one person, but when you move, an entire community walks through you. You go nowhere alone. By virtue of living, I am a racist in a racist world. Non black people are raised to be anti black. We are all taught that lighter is better until your voice is your sovereignty. Free. You look tired, he says. I turn to him and say, yeah, I am exhausted. I've been fighting misogyny for decades. How else do you expect me to look? No one on this planet is in more denial than the white man, who, regardless of all the evidence in front of him, still thinks racism and sexism and all the world's pain don't exist. The world is changing. Can you feel it? Undressing itself and slipping into something comfortable, uncomfortable, and more just waves. I am not interested in a feminism that thinks simply placing women at the top of oppressive systems is progress, not a convenient figurehead. The future world of our dreams can't be built on the corruptions of the past. Tear it down. Today, I saw myself for the first time when I dusted off the mirror of my mind, and the woman looking back took my breath away. Who was this beautiful beastling, just this extra celestial earthling? I touched my face, and my reflection touched the woman of my dreams. All her gorgeous smirking back at me, my knees surrendered to the earth as I wept and sighed at how I'd gone my whole life being myself, but not seeing myself. Spent decades living inside my body, never left it once, yet managed to miss all its miracles. Isn't it funny how you can occupy a space without being in touch with it? How it took so long for me to open my eyes, embrace the hurt of my heart, kiss the soles of my sullen feet, and hear them whisper, thank you, thank you, thank you for noticing. You have everything to gain from believing in yourself, yet you spend all your time with self doubt. There is a conversation happening inside you. Pay deep attention to what your inner world is saying. I stopped resisting the unpleasant feelings and accepted that happiness has nothing to do with feeling good all the time. Balance. It's easy to love the nice things about ourselves, but true self love is embracing the difficult parts that live in all of us. Acceptance. Can you hear the woman who came before me? 500,000 voices ringing through my neck as if this were all a stage built for them. I can tell which parts of me are me and which parts of them are them. Can you see them taking over my spirit, shaking out of my limbs to do everything they couldn't do when they were alive? I dive into the well of my body and end up in another world. Everything I need already exists in me. There's a need to look anywhere else. There's no need to look anywhere else. Home. Oh, but the pussy is brave. Lest we forget how much pain the pussy can take, how much pleasure it delivers unto itself and others. Remember how it spit you out without a flinch. Now here you are, using the word pussy like an insult when you are not even strong enough to be one. Live loud and proud like you deserve. And reject their bullshit definition of what a woman should look like. Women have starved of space for so long. When one of us finally makes into the arena, we get scared that another woman will take our spot. But space doesn't work like that. Look at all the men in the arena getting stronger as their numbers multiply. More women in the arena means more room for all of us to rise strong, stronger together. I'm not interested in feminism that excludes trans women. He says you are opinionated, as if it's an insult to have ideas so big. He chokes on the size of them. Never be quiet. Look for the women in the room who have less space than you. Listen, hear them, and act on what they are saying. Amplify indigenous, trans, black, brown, women of color voices. Why escape yourself when you're so beautiful? Get closer to your shine. On days I could not move, it was women who came to water my feet until I was strong enough to stand. It was women who nourished me back to life. Sisters, make it a point to love yourself as fiercely as you do other people. Commitment. It shouldn't affect anyone what we do with our bodies, least of all those who haven't walked a day in your shoes. Give me love lines and wrinkles. I want proof of jokes we shared, engraved the lines look into my face like the roots of a tree that grow deeper with each passing year. I want sunspots as souvenirs for the beaches we laid on. I want to look like I was never afraid to let the world take me by the hand and show me what it's made of. I want to leave the place knowing I did something with my body other than trying to make it look perfect. I can take my eyes off me now that I see myself. I can take my mind off me. I can believe the tricks my hands have been up to, the sermons I spoke into existence, the mountains I crushed with my fingers, and the mountains I built from all the shit people tried to stone me to death with. Warrior. I often daydream about the woman it will be when I leave the rush of my insecure 20s and pick up self assurance on the way. I can't wait to make my 18-year-old self jealous of the hell I raise. Roaring into my 30s and 40s, my soul becoming more potent with age. At 50, I'll sit with my wrinkles and silver hair, laughing at the adventures we have had together, talking about the countless more in the decades ahead. What a privilege it is to grow into the finest version of myself. Aging, be here in what needs to be done today. That's how we honor tomorrow. If the devil hadn't pushed you into a corner and forced you to break its neck, how would you have known you were this strong? There are miracles in me waiting their turn to happen. I'm never giving up on myself. You do not belong to the future or the past. You belong right here. Get loud. Say what you need to say. It feels good to reclaim your life the way we rise from every sorrow in life. It's the most gorgeous thing I've seen. You are a soul, a world, a portal, a spirit. You are never alone. You are organs and blood and flesh and muscle, a colony of miracles weaving into each other. Break down every door they built to keep you out and bring all the people with you. Storm, you are not alone. Alone would be if your heart no longer beat, and your lungs no longer pulled, and your breath no longer pushed. How do you alone if an entire community lives in you? You have all of you on your side. I will never have this version of me again. Let me slow down and be with her, always evolving. Your beauty is undeniable, but every sacred and ancient in you is even more stunning. I am waking up to my God self. Nothing tastes better than being on your own side. I am not afraid of failing. I am afraid my potential might set the world on fire. There are days when the light flickers, and then I remember I am the light. I go in and switch it back on. Power. You have only scratched the surface of what you're capable of. There are decades of victories ahead of you. Silly girl, little angel, and silly girl, little angel, little devil. So oblivious to being the miracle worker, you are the mother, the magician, the master of your life. Now that you're free, and the only obligation you are under is your own dreams, what will you do with your time? Let's awake from homebody. Again, the line that concludes all of it is: after feeling disconnected for so long, my mind and body are finally coming back to each other. Homebody by Rupi Kaur. Rupi Kaur is a poet, artist, and performer. As a 21-year-old university student, Rupi wrote, illustrated, and self published her first poetry collection, Milk and Honey. Next came its artistic sibling, The Sun and Her Flowers. These collections have sold over 8 million copies and have been translated over 40 languages. Homebody is her third collection of poetry. Rupi's work touches on love, loss, trauma, healing, femininity, and migration. She feels most at home when creating art or performing her poetry on stage. That concludes our 4 series live stream of Homebody. Next, let's see what comes tomorrow. I'll decide that, and let's see me tomorrow with another live stream. Lyrics. Yeah, tada. Have a good day, good night. For now, life like love. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.